is up, Branch's family? I am so excited about this short because I think it's super important information. So today for our animated short, we're going to be talking about generational wealth. What is generational wealth? Generational wealth is essentially wealth that is passed down from one generation to the next. And in order to fully understand this concept, it's important to understand its opposite, which is generational poverty. Generational poverty is poverty being passed down from one generation to the next. In America, we have what's called relative poverty. And relative poverty really depends on context, and it depends on an individual's surrounding community. In America, what helps us determine this is what's called the poverty line. And right now, in 2020, for an entire year, a family of 4 only makes $26,000. This, my friends, is not enough money to comfortably survive in America or ultimately generate generational wealth. So, for example, take Sarah. She is married to Mark, and they both work full-time jobs making minimum wage, right? And over a year, each of them make about $16,000. Coupled together, say they have 2 kids, that's a family of 4. Together, they'll make about $32,000. That still is not enough money to fully live comfortably and set yourself up well for the future. And this was my mom and my stepdad. They didn't make enough money every year to fully, be able to set my sister and myself up for us to go to college, right? So we went to college and we had to fully try to figure out how we would fund ourselves. And for many people in America, that's their story, right? A lot of people can't afford to go to college. We definitely were able to get by, but the goal is not simply to get by. The goal is to fully set yourself up financially and provide this for the next generation. Because here's the thing, we want to, for the majority of people watching this video, myself included, we want to avoid this, right? We want to avoid just getting by. And that's why we're talking about generational wealth. We want to fully be able to set not only ourselves up, but we want to set up future generations in our family. Because here's the thing, if poverty could be passed down from generation to generation, wealth can do the same. That's why as a middle schooler, high schooler, or even college student, it's super important that we understand these concepts because you are an asset to your family. You're going to be the one to really change the tide in your family for generations to come. That's why when we talk about college or trade school or maintaining your GPA and getting involved, all of these things are important even now because they're really setting the foundation of how you will eventually begin to build and create your future. So how do we even get there? You might be like, I'm 12. I'm just getting into college. Like, what are you talking about, Kat? What are you saying? So how do we get there? Here are a few tips. Number 1, make the very best decision today. What's the very best decision you could be making today? It could be doing your homework, making sure you maintain your GPA, getting involved, making good decisions. Those are very important because your decisions shape your future. But in the future, what is it like what does it practically look like to begin actually accumulating wealth? Number 1, investment is very important. Our next video, which the Beverly is going to talk to you guys more about, she's going to be talking about investment. Investment is literally how you get to multiply your money, not just save it, but multiply it. So investment is plays a huge role in generational wealth, and also owning land, right? That's a huge piece in an aspect to what helps people accumulate generational wealth. And lastly, why is all this stuff important? Ultimately, guys, we want to live a life full of opportunity, right? We don't want to live a life that we fell into by default, but one that we were intentionally involved with and intentionally created, right? There's so much power in that. There's so much freedom in that. And we don't only want it for ourselves, but we want it for generations to come in our family. And it's important because we want to continue to shift the narrative that's being told about people of color in this country. We want to leave a strong imprint for the generations to come, to look back and say, man, they really did their thing financially. Like, they really set us up so we can then continue the legacy and continue to accumulate wealth. That's all I have. I hope you learned a little bit about what generational wealth is, why it's important, and why we gotta do this thing. All right, love you guys. Bye.
Hey, thanks for watching.
Make sure to follow and subscribe on all our social media.
Bye.
Bye.